So in this video, we'll take a look at trading Forex with a very low budget, a very small account. For the last 20 years or so, brokers around the world have allowed retail traders to jump in and start trading currencies. Believe it or not, there was one point in time, really not that long ago, where you had to trade directly from a bank and you had to quite often have $1 million in an account specifically for trading. And it was not uncommon at all to have, maybe a 100 pip spread, 200 pip spread between bid and ask, even in the euro dollar. It was a very thin market. And, the position size, of course, wasn't going to be any different. So you're talking thousands of dollars just to cover the spread. So obviously, not many retail traders got involved. So now that they've changed that and they have tightened the spread and they've introduced liquidity pools and the like, here in the 21st century, things have changed quite drastically. And that brings up quite a few questions. The fact is, most retail traders simply just don't have a lot of money to trade with. There will be some people that have significant accounts, but for the most majority of people, it's going to be relatively small. One of the most dangerous things for a retail trader is to be undercapitalized. This is because with high leverage, a lot of times, you can trade 50 times levered. So, for every dollar that you have in the market, you're actually controlling and losing and gaining right along with $50. So you magnify both your losses and your gains. So that is one of the biggest problems that people will run into. And some places actually let you trade quite a bit more, 100 times leverage, 400. I've even seen 1,000 in some jurisdictions. So being undercapitalized and not understanding the market, it's a quick way to lose a lot of money, especially if you have a very small account. The money management becomes paramount when you're trading with, say, just $100, because it's only going to be $10 to lose 10% or gain it, either way. And $10, it doesn't take much to imagine how the markets could move like that. So in this scenario, it's kind of ironic because the same leverage that attracts people to the market is the exact same leverage that destroys so many accounts. $10 is nothing to get overly excited about in most parts of the world, even though it's a 10%, and that's a solid gain, especially if you're talking about just like a couple months. So this brings up the, keeping your expectations realistic. You cannot expect to open an account with $100 and become a millionaire by the end of the year. It's just not going to happen. Statistical analysis and an understanding of compound interest will tell you just how impossible that really is. It doesn't mean you can't grow your account over time, though. If you have a small account, you just need to be more patient with your gains. Just relax and focus on the process. If you double this account, this $100 account, then it becomes $200. And that's, believe it or not, that is a huge feat. That is something quite impressive because it's a statistical thing. What if it was 1 million and you doubled it to 2 million? It's the exact same thing. In some ways, trading a smaller account is much more difficult than a larger one, mainly because of all the patience that's necessary. But the most important thing beyond money management after that is, never forget that you can add to an account. So if you have a $100 account and you get that $10 bump up that we mentioned earlier, and it's 110, well, if you have the ability, why not add to it? Add 25 to it. So now all of a sudden it's 135, and say you gain another 10%. Or for that matter, just say $35. At this point it's 170 and 170, another, 10%, that'd be $17, and so on. And at this point in time, you can see how you are compounding 187, maybe add 50 to it at this point, so you're starting to see how you can really boost the account by adding. Think of it much like your retirement account. Your retirement account, you don't throw it all in there in one shot, and your forex account can be the same way. That's probably the best way to start growing a small account. It takes time. That's the most important thing. It always takes time. So patience and money management are by far your two biggest friends.